Every player dreams of winning a grand final, and tonight Perry Park lights up for the 2025 NPL Queensland decider between the reigning premiers Morton City Excelsior and four-time champions Lions FC. For the fourth time since August 2024, these two sides will face off in a final, and the stakes could not be higher as an epic grand final day comes to a conclusion. A very good evening, everyone. Well, the skies have cleared, the floodlights are on, and we are set for a fantastic clash between these two storied clubs as we prepare for kickoff. The anticipation is thick here at Perry Park. James Coughlin in the commentary spot, ready to bring you all the action. Josh Masamisi is down on the sideline, and I am very pleased to be joined, I think for the first time in a grand final possibly, by Adam Cattell. Adam, just recovered from what was a dramatic NPL Women's Grand Final. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm just trying to get my breath back, James. Yes, good evening, everyone. We've had three cracking grand finals today, haven't we? I don't know what's left to be served up. We've had penalty shootouts, we've had red cards rescinded. We've had a bit of everything. So, yeah, hoping for another blockbuster.
Well, based on the recent meetings between these two sides, this one is almost certain to go down to the wire as we await the arrival of the two teams onto the pitch here at Perry Park. And Adam, with the way these two sides have gone at it for silverware over the last few years, it is a game that is going to be decided just by those few pivotal moments, surely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I was here, a fortnight ago, James, for that Kappa Pro Series final. Now, it was an incredibly windy day that day, and I think the conditions certainly played a part in the contest. As for tonight, though, I mean, really perfect conditions for football under the floodlights. So I think we're going to be treated to a fantastic match. Two very evenly matched sides, it's got to be said. Lions have got the upper hand, though, in grand finals on Morton City on the last few occasions.
That they certainly have, but for Morton City, though, they did break through, winning their first trophy in 10 years, and the first of the Cam Miller era, winning the premiership. So that does feel like it might be a weight off their shoulders. Yeah,
look, now that was absolutely massive. Great achievement from Cam Miller and his side to finish top of the ladder, and of course they're going to go on to represent the state in the Australian Championship next month as well, lest we forget. But I just feel Lions FC, when it comes to grand finals, they know how to get the job done.
That they certainly do. Well, says it all. That picture says it all, doesn't it? The safe smoke is lighting up the player entrance tunnel. Morton City in their traditional all-black kit, and it is Lions in their away white strip as we just await the champions' final few minutes of preparation. The substitutes are coming out onto the pitch, but while we have a second, we should mention as well for Lions, this is the final game of what has been a very successful spell for Darren Syme as head coach. I mean, I had my questions after he took over from Warren Moon, but he's brought the trophies back to Richlands.
He absolutely has. What a time Darren Syme has had at Lions. Obviously, as you mentioned, first as an assistant to Warren Moon before taking the main job. How he'd love to bow out with his hands on yet another piece of silverware. I mean, I wonder how he's going to fill his time next season, James, really.
I have a feeling he'll still be there around Richlands as well, but for the time being, he still has 90 or maybe 120 minutes of work remaining as the Lions head coach. And I'll tell you what, we couldn't have asked for a better matchup based on how this season has unfolded. The premiers, Morton City, and Lions, the perennial winners. And now, under the lights, on Perry Park, here they come to battle once more for silverware. Morton City and Lions, led out by our match officials. It is going to be a fantastic clash. Morton City led out by Declan Smith, the captain. Joe Duckworth, as he has done for the last few years, leading out Lions. And you think back to 12 months ago, that grand final, it was decided just by one brief moment of magic from Lions, that team move to set up Jackson Hart-Phillips' goal right on half-time. And that Kappa Pro Series final goal was Alex Fechner. So much to look forward to as the teams line up for the pre-game ceremonies. No shortage of grand final experience in the Lions kit tonight. Well, to be fair, Morton City, they've got a fair bit of experience as well, making the last two NPL grand finals, losing both of those 1-0.
Yeah, I can tell you, it's probably going to be a tight affair again tonight, James, isn't it? Just looking at the last 12 NPL Queensland men's finals.
We'll get to that in a second. Sorry, Adam. So it is the Morton City team list, and it is basically an unchanged lineup from the semi-final. Nathan Foster in goal, but I've got my eye on Satan Murray. He has led the line with aplomb after the injury to Zach Kierpal. Such a huge figure tonight as well.
Yeah, he's done a brilliant job up there, hasn't he? I mean, obviously losing Zach, such a massive blow. You know, for Zach, obviously, personally, and for Morton City. But Satan Murray, what a job he's done up top. He's got a hat-trick against Knights. He's definitely looked the part.
And here is how Lions line up. The big absence, Tommy Jarrett. He has been out for the last couple of weeks after picking up that injury in the Kappa Pro Series final. But you look at that list, that's still plenty of experience. Liam MacArthur, the mid-season signing from Caboolture, but in goals, Matt Acton gets the nod ahead of Luke Borean.
Yeah, Luke Borean, who kept goal in that Kappa Pro Series final. Obviously, Matt Acton, very experienced goalkeeper, plenty of A-League experience as well. Tommy Jarrett will be a miss, made a really important goal line clearance in last year's grand final. But Liam MacArthur is certainly an able deputy.
Indeed, and it is a return to the starting line. Last time these two sides met at Perry Park, it was Riley Stent starting in as the cup keeper for Morton City. But now it is Nathan Foster returning to the lineup, and he is making his 46th straight start in the NPL for Morton City since rejoining them at the start of last year. I'll tell you what, Adam, the crowd has filled out quite nicely. It was starting to pick up quite a bit for the NPL women's, and an awful lot of Morton City colours here tonight as well. Or it could just be because everyone's wearing jackets that are black.
Yeah, I mean, those Brisbane City fans during the women's grand final were making quite a racket, weren't they? It looks like a few of them have stuck around too. But yeah, Perry Park filling nicely.
It certainly is, and the teams are switching sides now. I don't know if that's gamesmanship, because I don't think there's really a whole lot of advantage going one way or another. The wind is negligible, which means we can't really spend 90 minutes talking about that like we did 2 weeks ago. But either way, it is shaping up to be an epic contest. You really can't oversell the stakes here, can you?
Absolutely not. Yeah, as I was going to say earlier, these grand finals tend to be quite cagey, tight affairs. Of the last 12 men's NPL grand finals, 10 of them have been decided by either a penalty shootout or a single goal.
And it is Lions kicking us off, going from left to right. The 2025 NPL Queensland decider is underway. James Coughlin, Adam Cattell bringing all the action. Josh Masamisi down on the sideline. And they're set to light up the night sky here at Perry Park as we return home to the ground where so many famous memories have been made. And it is an early chance for Lions, with the shot coming in from Skinner, blocked away. Harry Arneson, who, Adam, was a bit of a doubt after picking up a knock in last week's semi-final win, but he is good to go, the combative midfielder.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looked the part, Harry Arneson, in the middle of the park there for Morton City since that mid-season transfer from Oakley Cannons in Victoria. Yeah, like you say, James, he did pick up a facial injury during that semi-final win. I believe he did have some minor surgery in the week and is able to take his part this evening.
Indeed he is, but it is Lions going on the attack early, and they are sticking with their preferred back three setup. So they work their way through and turned over. Sayers breaking forward, but the lunging challenge from Hart Phillips. You'll see that out for a throw-in. And you did mention, Adam, that all these pretty much all these grand finals have been decided by very, very tight margins. I think back to even 2022, which is one of the few decided by multiple goals. But that was an 87th minute goal from Paki DeVita to seal it for Gold Coast Knights as well. So it is kind of a close fought battle.
Yeah, as I said, they do tend to be quite cagey. I just wonder, James, if we do get an early goal a la the FQPL 1 men's grand final that we had this morning, if that might just open things up, a little bit.
We can Only hope, because as commentators, all we really hope for is chaos. And
We've had a fair bit of that today, James, already, haven't we?
I was going to say, based on how the last 8 or so hours have gone, feels like a pretty safe prediction. A disagreement over the awarding of the free kick, but it's played quickly by Arneson. Meineke. Shifted over, so only turnover. Duckworth looking to spring Fechner on the counter-attack. Trying to find space in behind Smith. Watched closely by McAnally. Carlos. Here's Duckworth. That wand of the left foot, but wand is still getting calibrated. Smith to launch an attack down that far side. Back through the middle for Sayers, who was so busy in that semi-final last week. Lockie Sayers, he could have had about 4 or 5 goals were it not for the offside flag. Did get one, however.
Diving header, I think, having seen that on the social medias, taken quite well.
And to his credit, that actually probably was the best finish we had for Lockie Sayers on the evening, as they ran out 4-1 winners over Easts. Taken by Murphy. Sends it back to Murphy. Block made by Beakhurst. Player has overcome some major injury issues. He's come back and played 41 games for Lions over the last 2 seasons, Finn Beakhurst. And when he is flying, he does have pace to burn from that wing-back spot.
Yeah, full of energy, isn't he? I remember him that Kappa Pro Series final, like you say, James, has had his fair share of injury problems over the last couple of years, so great to see him, back and, playing lots of games.
Indeed, a regular feature this season for Lions was Finn Beakhurst. Midfield losing out to the opposite number 15 in Liam MacArthur, who was actually involved last grand final day we had at Perry Park as part of the Rochdale side that day. Rochdale were back again in 2025, going down 2-1 to Magic United in today's first game. Fechner running for the ball. Hoare wins it now. Skinner driving to the edge of the box, looking for the ball back across the face of Foster's goal. Duckworth, top corner, Lions strike first. And we are just 5 minutes into the match, and Lions take the lead.
Well, I asked for an early goal, and we've got it, James. What a strike from Joe Duckworth. Great work initially from Jack Skinner on the far side, and just pulls that back for Duckworth, who's just unleashed an absolute rocket. Nothing Nathan Foster could do there as we watch on the replay.
And it started with the build-up from Mitch Hoare, and then the creativity of Skinner getting to the byline for the cutback to the penalty spot. And for Joe Duckworth, what a time for your first goal since June 2024, which was NPL round 15 against the Raw.
Yeah, not a bad way. Well, I think he used to be a striker back in the day, didn't he, Joe Duckworth, in his younger days?
That is one of my favourite stats going around. He did win the 2020 NPL Golden Boot, and then he just decided to go back and play defensive midfield.
Yeah, well, he took that like a proper striker, didn't he? Yeah, what a start here.
Goes for Meineke. Now, for Morton City, they have to try and find some sort of response here as Sayers nods it on, and Joe Scott was the nearest Morton City player to that. And very close touch for Matt Acton as he's got time to size up his options.
Yeah, just important for Morton City these next few minutes, just try and focus again and just regain their composure. Not the start they would have hoped for.
Although, I think as we have learned today, don't go away till the 90th minute, because there is a lot of football still to come. And this is a Morton City side that does have goals in their lineup. You look at some of the numbers. Seda Murai, 18 goals in all competitions this year, is the leader on the pitch.
I mean, they've done so well to finish top of the ladder, James, haven't they? Obviously that injury to Zach Kearpal, but also Reece Gwynne-Jones as well, who's a big part of that defence. You know, losing both players to ACL injuries.
I think that's been nicknamed the Great Wall of Brendale by some. And we go down the near side of Morton City. Takagichi dispossessed. And is cut out by Arneson. Declan Smith. Well, in terms of goal-scoring options for Morton City, he certainly is one of those guys who can pop up with the goal. He's actually third all-time in NPL finals goals with his header last week, moving him on to 4 in his career. And he has actually scored 2 here at Perry Park back in 2017 semi-final for the then Moreton Bay United against Brisbane Strikers.
I think used to be a striker himself as well, a bit like Joe Duckworth before moving positions.
Yeah, when I first started, his positional billing was centre-back / striker, but Smith has mistimed there. Skinner now breaking into the box, looking for the cutback again. It's Fechner, and he can't get a clean strike on it. Still there for Lions. Beakhurst, edge of the box. He's able to measure the ball in, and on the follow-up, Joe close to 2, as it was Skinner, I think, with the volley, testing out those hip flexors.
Yeah, Jack Skinner, I do like this player. He's really tricky, really hard to defend against. I mean, Foster's not getting there, is he? Lions could easily be 2 up.
And some early warning signs for Morton City, Adam. As well, you had your stats about grand finals earlier on. This is one that is potentially a bit of encouragement for the reigning premiers. The 5 times in NPL history they have made the grand final, they've won all 5 times. Although it hasn't been all that frequent as of late, with the doubles being won by Olympic 2013, Palm Beach 2014, Moreton Bay 2015, Lions 2018, and then Gold Coast Knights in 2023. So 3 of the first 12 grand finals won by the premiers, and 2 of the 9 since, and they are on the back foot now as Hoare. As it's there for the free header at the back post, and Hart Phillips with the overlapping run, just like we saw 12 months ago, direct his header goalwards.
Well, Lions have come out the traps very quickly, James, haven't they, in this opening 10 minutes. Morton City don't know what's hit them at the moment. It's just wave and wave of Lions attacks. It could easily be more than 1 goal up.
And this is where you do sort of count on the likes of Declan Smith, some of the experienced players, Lockie Sayers, just to settle the nerves when it comes to these moments, because 10 minutes into the game, they are struggling to just get any sort of control and maintain any sort of possession, as Scott goes to battle with Ramazani. Ramazani gets it straight into Sayers. Sayers holding strong on the ball, but he's mauled by a trio of Lions. And now the optimistic attempt is it goes well wide of Foster's goal. 10 minutes in to the 2025 NPL Grand Final. Cam Miller watching on as his side tries to find a response after trailing. Through Joe Duckworth's 5th minute strike, if you are just joining us. Well, you've missed an epic day of Grand Final action here at Perry Park. Got a good one on the cards so far. Anderson. Right, finding Murphy, and so well organised in their defensive setup. Everybody seems to know their roles, Adam.
Yeah, they certainly do. They're a very well-drilled unit. Morton City just need to find their rhythm, I feel, and haven't really settled into this grand final as of yet.
Well, I suppose the silver lining for them as well is last week they found themselves on the back foot for the first 20 or so minutes against East. And then it took that own goal by Laurie Kant just before the half-hour mark to get Morton City back in the game, and from there they just hit the accelerator and there was no answer. But that time Lee MacArthur read that like a book, and Fechner trying to break through. Challenged by Smith, and they're going in full-blooded for those challenges.
Yeah, great defence splitting pass there from Liam MacArthur. To be honest, haven't seen a lot of Liam play this season, but I'm impressed by what I've seen so far.
Well, he's
very composed on the ball.
he has sort of had to come in almost in an emergency just because of the defensive injuries that they've got going around at Lions. I mean, Tommy Jarrad, over 200 games for Lions. That is a tough player to replace, but Darren Syme, plenty of trust in his players as Meineke doesn't see anything he likes. Got it back by Beakhurst. Tracking back was Meineke. Scott out for Sayers. Too much on that. Straight into the path of Hart Phillips. Play it back for Ramazani, and that left-sided duo for Lions so strong over the last few years. Adam Ramazani and Hart Phillips have been playing together for quite a while, going back to their time in the Roar Academy.
Absolutely, yeah, they have been playing together a very long time, James, and it does show.
The offside flag goes up on occasion as MacArthur just with some words of encouragement. City restart the play. Chris Marr, the veteran. And we have Morton City gearing up for their next forward foray. Let's go down tonight to the sideline for the first time. And hey, I know that guy. It's Josh Masamisi.
Good evening, James and Adam. Great to have you guys on the call tonight as we touch base. The weather is sitting at a nice, comfortable temperature as the night sky has fallen upon us. Some rain throughout the day, but we have perfect conditions here tonight. And just to touch on the atmosphere at Perry Park here, I was talking to people around the game, and they sum tonight up best. Suncorp is the mansion we love to visit, but Perry Park is home. It's great to be home, gents.
That might be my favourite line I've heard all night. Suncorp the mansion, Perry Park the home.
I love that. Get that on a T-shirt, I think. Fantastic.
See if we can get that down to the merchandise stand before full time. And Smith over for Meineke. There's Marr. Another one of those experienced heads who are counting on to try and steady the ship in midfield. Chris Marr. His 108th NPL game for the Morton City club since joining back in 2021. Through it goes, finding Sayers. Watched closely again by MacArthur. And Sayers to Mirai. Mirai teeing up Scott, and he finds some space on that left foot as he goes for the byline, cutting it back and straight into the hands of Matt Acton. First half chance there for Morton City, and it came through the work of Joe Scott.
Yeah, Joe Scott, well, he likes Perry Park, didn't he? Joe Scott getting that memorable winner against Perth Glory about 12 months ago. Yeah, nice little run there, and able just to dig out the cross, but unable to find a Morton City head.
But it is a warning sign as well. Scott, with grand final experience playing here in 2024 Southwest Queensland Thunder, that left foot came so close to finding an extra time equaliser that night. A couple of free kicks off the post. And then that left foot was working wonders again last week. 2 assists for Morton City as he found the heads of Declan Smith and Lockie Sayers. Foster having to just get out of second gear to make sure he beat Fechner to that ball. If you are hoping for more goals, well, 3 of the last 5 grand finals have been decided by a 1-0 scoreline. Lions have won 2 of those, Gold Coast Knights the other, but we are certainly hoping that this is going to be a game with more goals to come. I would love to know what Darren Syme said to his team right before they came out, Adam, because game's starting to settle down and find a bit more balance, but Lions definitely have had the better of it in the opening quarter of an hour, and they could be on again as Hall will thump that towards the back post. Skinner deflected, asking optimistically, has to be said, for the handballs. I think it came off the back of Jack McAnally.
Yeah, he's done well to catch that, Jack Skinner, because that was coming at it at some pace there, James. And I think, yeah, sort of half-hearted appeals there for a penalty kick.
One of those, let's just give it a shout and hope for the best, as those appeals were waved away by our referee, Mackenzie James. And tonight he's assisted by Bailey Jacobson and Abdullah Al-Khamisi. The fourth official is Tom Fell. Lions on the attack again. Skinner cutting back. Electric player now. Carlos looking for the cutback. Fresh off 2 goals last weekend, Sean Carlos. Bika through the legs. The defender, but the lunging clearance is made by Arneson. Mirai managed to bring that one under control, and it wound up back at the feet of the opposite number 10 in Joe Duckworth.
Yeah, just playing with a bit of a swagger here, Lions, at the moment, aren't they? I think they may be smelling blood, and Morton City, they've just got to try and ride this out now.
And they have started to get a little bit more of a foothold in this match since that concession, but you don't want to panic too early, Adam, and just commit too many numbers forward, knowing that it is still only 1-0, still plenty of time to go in this match. And Cam will no doubt be saying, plenty of time, guys, plenty of time. McAnally on the turn. Beautiful move by Meineke. Can he find the pass? A heavy touch by Takagishi.
Yeah, silky skills there from the centre half.
That's always what you want from your centre half as well, just the ability to beat a couple of defenders and try to make that inch-perfect through ball. Now we'd have to avoid sounding like bitter old curmudgeon saying back in our day, Adam.
No, you didn't see that as much, did you? I think, yeah, a lot more ball-playing centre halves now.
That may have also had something to do with the level we played at.
Well,
here's Arneson. Not a whole lot of movement further forward for Morton City, as they just can't seem to find a way through at the moment. Not a lot of movement, and now Lions just hitting them on the counter-attack. It's Skinner again, trying to find space, beat a couple of defenders. A heavy touch is clear, but only as far as Carlos off the left foot through, and almost towed home. And Foster, I'm not entirely sure he would have had that block made if it was touched there by, I believe, Mitch Hoare was the last one to make the lunge. And Hoare millimetres away from...
yeah, not sure if the offside flag would have gone up there if Mitch Hill been able to convert that, but yeah, another chance for Lions.
It was, and another warning sign from Lions, and the scary thing as well is they've still got that guy Andy Pengelly on the bench as well.
Yeah. Not a bad substitute to have in your ranks.
Here is Scott pushing forward, finding the support of McAnally out wide. Sayers, there's a short option for a pass. Has to chase that one down, and just holding on to the ball now, just enjoying what feels like it might be their longest spell of possession in the Lions half at the moment. It's played over the top. Takagishi lets it run. Now Scott off the left foot and blocked by MacArthur, but not cleanly dealt with. And is that going to go behind for a corner, as Ramazani was unable to chase that one down?
Yeah, clever play from Takagishi just to leave that there, causing a bit of confusion in the Lions' defence, and Morton City earning the corner.
Just starting to build a little bit now, the Premier's Morton City. That'll be that in-swinging delivery, and might have to make a run down there at half-time, Adam. The Greek food truck looks...
I did visit it earlier, I must admit.
Perfect carb loading, right?
Of course.
In comes the in-swinging corner. It's a looping ball and batted away. McAnally for Takagishi is He has to try and evade that challenge from Carlos. So he's still holding on to the ball.
He's still having a look at the ref there, Kenshin Takagishi.
And it's chested down by Murphy. Takagishi to cut back for the cross. Instead gets it to McAnally, who will play it back. It's just an extended spell of possession for Morton City. 14 wins, 5 draws, 3 defeats in the season, plus that 4-1 win over East in the semi-final is how their league campaign has unfolded. And it's Mirai in a rare bit of space out wide for Murphy. Gets inside Beakhurst, back for Mirai, closed down. Sayers with 2 lines around him again, and it's that double teaming of the player on the ball, and they pick and choose their moments for Lions, and it is just so effective for them.
Yeah, a little bit better from Morton City though. Good diagonal to find Murray in space to start with. And then, yeah, they're just enjoying a little bit of possession now, Morton City, and starting to get a bit more of a foothold into this game.
And just like it was last week, it was around this time where they started to move into the ascendancy against Easts, and header away. But Morton City continuing to lay siege to the Lions' 18-yard box. Until that slight challenge from Duckworth just stifles the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, they're doing a good job at just closing down those passing lanes of Morton City at the moment. Lions, very well drilled side.
They are, as everyone seems to know their spot where they need to set up. You've got Carlos and Duckworth just sort of sitting a little bit deeper compared to the rest of the midfield, and everyone else is just making sure that they are covering some sort of space. The touch that just showed enough of the ball to MacArthur to cut that one out. Mirai. And slip from Takagishi, opens up for Ramazani over the halfway line, but now the counter could be on here for Morton City. It's Scott looking to cut it back onto his left, gets a shot. We are level in the grand final. Joe Scott, it had to be off his left foot. 1-1, 25 minutes in.
What a finish from Joe Scott. Well, we know that left peg that he does possess, James, and he's just shown the quality there, hasn't he? What a finish to draw his side level.
And that ball over the top to unleash Scott, and they just couldn't get their defensive cover across, could Lions. Cut back onto the left foot. Just opened up the angle for him, and that was an excellent finish from the former Southwest Queensland Thunderman.
Game on here, James. 2 goals in the opening 25 minutes.
Well, there we go. First grand final since 2021 where we've had both teams score.
I think we've got to go back to 2017, James, when it hasn't been either Lions or Gold Coast Knights on the winners' trophy. Morton City hoping to do something about that tonight.
Indeed, and well, it is back to anyone's game. As Morton City, they made that response count. They started to get a foothold back in the game, wrestle some of the momentum back from Lions. And I know the analytics say momentum isn't a thing, but I mean, you tell me that wasn't Morton City starting to gain a little bit more control after the way they started very much on the back foot in the face of a rampant Lions attack.
They've done very well to ride that wave out, and yeah, fantastic equaliser from Joe Scott.
And Lions going on the attack as throw-in finds its way to Marr as Hartfields battles for possession. It is a Lions throw-in as he's left, and We'll go down to Josh Musselby momentarily. We'll just let this Lions attack play out as Morton City clear their lines. And, well, now let's go down to Josh Musselby on the sideline. Josh, how is it down there?
Yeah, no, the atmosphere is certainly alive and electric. We did discuss it. Zach Gearpal, obviously, unfortunately, suffering an injury, and he has not taken part in the remainder of this Morton City Excelsior campaign. And Marquez Walters leaving the club in the off-season. So they lost a lot of strike up front, Morton City Excelsior. Kenshin Tagagishi, the man that has led the line, 18 goals in all competitions this year, but it was Joe Scott that stood up when it mattered. Darren Syme has been very active on the technical area, plenty of standing, and Cameron Miller has done a lot of sitting. He's been very confident in his side. 1-1 the score. We've got a good one, boys.
That we certainly do. Thank you very much, Josh. As Morton City looking to capitalise on that equaliser as Murai in the angles as he finds Scott.
It was a great diag there to pick out Murphy, wasn't it, James?
It does feel like there has been a little bit of a tweak from Morton City just to try and break through that Lions' very, very tight defensive setup. It's Smith now going back to Foster. And look, I may be tempting fate here, Adam, as well. But so far, it has been a pretty clean game as well. Not a whole lot of wild and reckless challenges coming in either. It's been played at a pretty good pace and with pretty good intentions, I would say.
Yeah, wait till the second half, James. You might want to revisit that comment, but no, so far so good. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, great conditions for football, unlike 2 weeks ago where very difficult for the players to get it down and play it with that swirling wind. But yeah, we've been treated to a really good game so far.
And long may it continue. You are watching the 2025 NPL Men's Queensland Grand Final between Lions and Morton City Excelsior. James Coughlin and Adam Patel in commentary. Josh Musselby down on the sideline. Very pleased to have your company on FQTV, whether you've been watching all day or possibly tuning in just for this match. Either way, it has been a fantastic day of football as the Mitre Festival of Football rolls on here at Parc de Paris. Ramazani on the ball. Carlos back for Ramazani. There's MacArthur. Now Hoare for options with the cross straight into the welcoming arms of Foster. Now Morton City hitting on the counter again. Beautiful ball picking out Murai, but the touch is a little bit too heavy and MacArthur was able to chase that one down. But here comes Morton City once again. It's Murphy. Back for Murai. Tries to escape Beakhurst. There's Murphy in space with the cross and Beakhurst tracking back with great determination.
Just that quick diagonal ball again from Morton City Excelsior, James, to expose the space on the other side. And when they execute it, it does really open up the space there.
It does, but now a brief injury concern for Joe Scott as he is down, just through some maintenance on his right leg. It might have something to do with the strapping that he's got there as well. As the trainer now comes on. So just recapping, if you are just joining us, the results of the day. So we started with the FQPL 1 Men's Grand Final. That was 2-1 Magic United over Rochdale in a fiery clash, Adam.
Yes, that seems like such a long time ago now, doesn't it, James? Yeah.
Something about those FQPL Men's Grand Finals.
Yeah,
they always
never dull, are they? Yeah.
No, I don't think we've had a quiet moment there as some of the fans are taking in some of the catering here, as I think we may be headed there possibly in about an hour and a half's time.
See if we go extra time. Yeah. Hoping to get in there before
extra
orders.
Time. Yeah. But then we had the FQPL Women's Grand Final, which was a penalty shootout with Caboolture prevailing over Olympic 1-1 and 4-2 on penalties. And we'll come away from that now as Chris Marr prepares to deliver this corner. Towards the back end. Header off target from Smith. I I'm not quite sure why he's asking for the corner there, but as captain, why not give it a go? But then, Adam, the match we just saw, well, they just went and did it again, Brisbane City. Another late winner in a grand final, because why not?
Why not indeed? I still haven't worked out if that winner was a cross or a shot, but as Dante Sten said to me post-game, I don't think he really cares.
Doesn't matter. Style points do not matter in finals or knockout football. It is just get the job done. Arneson leaping high, and Ramazani, or Dylan, I beg your pardon, will play that back. And Adam, there's a player we haven't actually mentioned a whole lot yet tonight. Oscar Dillon is pressure being put on Acton, and looked all that troubled by it, did Matt Acton. And now Lyons going from one end of the pitch to the other. It's Hoare through for Fechner, who had strayed offside, and the flag went up straight away against Alex Fechner, who is leading the line for Lions tonight.
Yeah, you do mention Oscar Dillon there, James, a player with A-League experience and grand final experience. I believe he did score a free kick for Gold Coast Knights a few years ago.
And what a free kick it was. If you want to go back in the Football Queensland YouTube archives, you can actually check out that free kick. It was 2019, and we had the perfect camera angle from our production crew on that night as well, from right behind the goal. It was one of those moments where I think the camera op was pretty happy with that. As Sayers is screaming for the ball on the left. Marr can't find an angle for the pass though, and just to check it, as Sayers was in space over on that left side. Now it's back with Chris Marr.
Yeah, Chris Marr just charging through the centre of the field there. He did have options available to him on the left. Morton City still in possession.
That was a grand final, Olympic Gold Coast Knights, part one. We could be in for another memorable one, as Murphy has stayed on side with the cross back. But Ramazani nods it away. Sayers brings it back though for Morton City. Now Murai, he'll go for a run and play the ball through, finding Murphy, cross. There's that Captain Calm, Joe Duckworth.
Well, Morton City, they've definitely weathered that early storm from Lions, James, and well, they're really in the ascendancy at the moment.
Scott, who looks like he's back in action now. I'm trying to see if he's still got that strapping on his knee that he was getting checked on. As well, whoever was bugging him, he's able to launch the long throw into the box. It's allowed to bounce, and Ramazani first to react once again. And Ramazani, slipped there from Meineke, but no Stevie Gerrard moments there.
No, I didn't know Joe Scott had that in the locker, the long throw that we saw there as well. Always a useful weapon to have in your armoury.
It certainly is. Joe Delap, perhaps.
Rory Delap, yes, of course. Yes, yeah, I see
we'll call him Joe Delap.
See what you did there, James, yes.
We're on the same page, I swear.
I think so.
It's been a long day for us.
Oh, it has.
But nowhere else we would rather be with 10 minutes to go in the first half. Joe Duckworth and Joe Scott on a night for the Joes. As Sayers cannot find a way through, as footing looks like it might be becoming a little bit of an issue. Got a pitch report from Josh Masamisi at halftime, but for now Skinner's having no trouble with his footing, as that comes off the leg of Chris Marr, as they are adamant that it was a handball. The Lions bench are up. Simons on halfway, and Skinner is continuing the discussion as it's about the most vociferous appeal we've had for a handball pretty much all day.
Yeah, that Lions bench were very quick to get up into the fourth official there, as we get a chance to view it on the replay.
Okay,
the case there, James.
It definitely came off the arm. It looked like the leg from our angle, but I'll stand corrected on replay. But was the arm in a natural position? Well, that corner was in a kind of natural position, landing in the 6-yard box as McAnally. There's to Marr. Here goes Morton City. Out of their end, it's Meineke. Over to Smith. 8 minutes of normal time remaining in a quick-moving first half here. Is now Morton City unable to keep that one in as the flag has gone up. Murai does not agree with that decision, but well, Adam, I think we'll defer to the guy who is right there.
Well, he's closer than we are, James, isn't he? Yeah.
Whereas usually are a bit closer than we are, just not as close. Well, we're a bit closer than we usually are.
True that, yes.
As it's Lions now on the ball. Straight off the forehead of Murphy. Switch of play. It's just asking a bit too much of Hart Phillips.
It's a real pace to the game, James, isn't there?
It has. I'm genuinely stunned that we are 38 minutes in. It feels like we're only maybe 20 or so.
Yeah, it's. You just wonder if they can keep those intensity levels, you know, going into the second half.
It's kicked over by Carlos. Lions starting to enjoy a little bit more possession. Tell you what, Adam, it's been an amazing night, an amazing day here as well as the quadruple header rolls on. Aside from a little bit of rain in the first game, it's been pretty much everything we could have hoped for today. Drama, as you said in the introduction, it's had pretty much everything.
It's pretty much ticked every box, James, hasn't it? Yeah, what a great day, what a great occasion here at Perry Park. Always look forward to grand final day, and this one has delivered once again.
I know you have the traditionalists, as they like to be called, saying finals have no place in football, but it is something that makes our version of football unique, is this final system, and I'm always going to enjoy it because it guarantees we're finishing the season with a meaningful game, and we all love a grand final. And Sayers might love the opportunity presented to him as he can't bring it under control. Lockie Sayers. Grand final frustration to his name. 2021 and 2022 grand finals with Olympic. And 2024 last year with Morton City. Can he find some joy in the last game of the season?
Yeah, it's funny what you're saying there about grand finals football, how it is quite unique to Australia. I was talking to Gary French earlier, actually an Englishman like myself, and he was saying it did take him a few years just to get his head round into the grand final way of thinking, because obviously in Europe there's you finish your league season and who's top is the champions, but yeah, it does add an extra layer, doesn't it?
But would you trade this day for anything?
You make a very good point.
That's let run by Sayers, and side ball from McAnally as now he's forced to chase as Skinner. No way through Sayers. Strong challenge by Lockie Sayers in midfield. Scott it's out finding Ma. He have multiple trophies from his time at Lions, and as well as Brisbane strikers Chris Ma. He's done a little bit of everything in his NPL career, and whether it's winding down tonight or not, he's been a great pleasure to watch as that is brought down off the chest by MacArthur, and almost looked like he gave himself up there, thinking that might have been a handball. Given by Mr. James. Murai continues to drift around in his relatively free role. Sata Murai. to launch over the top. Might have only Scott, but the backspin just caught him out. He's watched closely by Dylan. Scott and Dylan, and Sayers not on the same page with that pass as it's cleared by Ramazani. Smith lunges into that challenge. It's Fechner. One of 5 players to score a brace in a grand final, Alex Fechner, and the most recent one in 2021.
That was against Olympic, wasn't it, James? Yes, I think I remember that final.
It was 3-1 for Lions that night. James Batty had the 3rd goal from about halfway in.
That's right, yeah, right at the end, yes.
That one might have caught everyone by surprise, James Batty, because he was the most prolific of goal scorers in his career, more of a tick-over midfielder.
I think we had a penalty save in that game as well. I think, was it Lachlan Hunter?
There was
Perhaps
one in 2020 as well.
2020, maybe I've got my dates wrong, but yeah.
To be fair, Lions have been in enough grand finals that they all
they
do
just
sort
morph into one, don't they? Yeah.
That they do, and well, they're hoping that this is another very happy grand final day for Lions as the cross goes in. But no one can find that necessary touch in white. Rolls on here. So we have only seconds remaining in first half normal time, and I imagine we'll have more than 1 or 2 stoppages added on, but that's enough time for Hoare to drive along the byline, looking for that cutback again, and the touch by Fechner as he battles to control it, and Beakhurst is under pressure by Mirai. Goes to MacArthur. Does it centrally, and here goes Scott, and Chris Marr will be the most forward man for Morton City, and he's got 4 Lions players around him, and all he can really do there is commit a foul on the 5th.
Well,
and
say
Mitch
to
Hoare
Mirai,
he does not like that, and well, just when we were saying before, it's been a fairly pleasant game. Trust Chris Marr to be involved in kicking that one off as the combative midfielder, and that felt like a bit of frustration from the veteran Chris Marr, and then Duckworth and Hoare came over to potentially take exception to that as we go to the replay.
Well, he's a fierce competitor, Chris Marr, isn't he? And just barges into Mitch Hoare then. And it's all settled down pretty quickly, to be fair. I was just going to say, Satan Murray was in a lot of space and was crying out for a pass.
I think perhaps if he had been seen, as we've got 2 minutes of time added on. And, well, it's all ending in a handshake as Marr and Hoare say, all right, that happened, let's move on.
Yeah, I think referee's done well there just to calm that one down.
Yeah.
Kept his cards in his pockets.
Because it hasn't been an overly hostile first half, save for that moment. It's back centrally as Arneson will loft that one clear. We'll go out for a Lions throw in. Back to Ramazani. Goes to the box, and Foster is on the ground after getting challenged, but nothing doing on that occasion. It's Carlos with the cross-come shot, and that was a spark point there. I think that was Fechner who made the run through, and
ending up in the back of the goal net there, Alex Fechner.
He now goes down the other end for Sayers, who was in an offside position, but that chance back there is... I was waiting for Fechner to try and pull himself up, but He just kept running. I think perhaps just hoping to draw some of the attention for Foster, perhaps, because even if he had sprinting issues, I'm not sure he was going to get to that ball. And that is the end of an enthralling and engaging first half here at Perry Park. Scores locked at 1 apiece between Morton City Excelsior and Lions FC. Joe Duckworth opened the scoring for Lions in the 5th minute before Joe Scott brought us back on level terms in the 25th minute. And boy, that was just a lot of fun, wasn't it?
That was fantastic. Half of ball, James. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's absolutely whizzed by Morton City. I did fear for them in those first 10 minutes, but they weathered the storm. And yeah, it's been a great game.
All right, well, let's go down to Josh Musamisi, who is in the centre circle with who appears to be Joe Scott.
Thanks, James. I'm here with Joe Scott. Joe, you've made such an impact off the bench for this side for such a long time. Now getting the starting role tonight, how good was it to put that one in the back of the net and lock the scores all up?
Oh, mate, it's been 3 years coming. I mean, we haven't scored in a final for 3 years, and yeah, it feels great. Happy to contribute where I can. Whether that's off the bench or on the field, I'm easy either way, but yeah, it feels good.
What's the message going to be at half-time, and what's the game plan going to the second 45 to get the job done?
Just stick to our process, keep playing the way we've played all year, and we'll get it across the line.
Thanks, mate. All the best.
Thank you.
All right, it is time for the half-time break here at Perry Park. Stay tuned, we've got a whole lot more action coming your way in the 2025 NPL Queensland Men's Grand Final. We'll be back after this.
Excellence. Is it measured in likes, bottom lines, or the impact we make around us? The things we build, the students we inspire, the care we give.
Baby girl.
At CQ University, we recognise all kinds of excellence. We combine contemporary courses with more choices and real support to empower you to create the success that means more to you. Be with CQU.
How do I finish this time? One straight off.
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
This is a team in full flight, a player at the peak of their powers. Emily Kelly. Extraordinary. This is a team and there is Claire Polkinghorne to jab it over the line in Newcastle.
Well, what a first half it has been in the 2025 NPL Men's Queensland Grand Final here at Perry Park. We are back home here in the NPL Queensland. It is 1 goal apiece between Morton City and Lions. James Coughlin, Adam Patel and Josh Masamisi in the commentary setup for tonight. And let's run through those first half highlights for you. As it was Lions striking first, they flew out of the blocks, with Skinner getting on the end of this move that was started by Poor, and it's cut back Duckworth with the left-footed finish into the top corner. Mitchell with the touch to free up Jack Skinner. And there with the inch-perfect cutback, and it could not have been a better start for the reigning NPL champions. They chase yet another grand final win. Beakhurst to tee up a second as Lions, they went so close with Skinner lashing it just wide. Morton City began to gain a foothold back in this game after about a quarter of an hour, and Joe Scott was the main man. Lions, they're going so close with that scuffed effort from Sean Carlos, which almost got a touch too, and then it was Chris Marr with that first touch to Joe Scott, who buried that chance across the face of Matt Acton. And Scott, well, if you don't know what his left foot can do by now, that is exactly it. Joe Scott has been working at it, as he said to Josh Masamisi before half-time, cutting back and curling it in. Dan Syme watching on, and here is the last bit of drama in the first half as that struck the arm of Chris Marr, but the arm was adjudged to have been in a natural position, and here are the stats. 6 shots to 2 for Lions over Morton City, but just the one extra on target. Been a pretty polite first half, shall we say, aside from that one brief blow-up with Chris Marr and Mitch Hall. Just the 6 fouls, no bookings so far, although we do know that as the tension rises in the second half, that will without a doubt go up, as well as now just watch the substitutes going through their warm-ups as we wonder, will it be a super sub deciding the 2025 grand final? Well, we'll find out, but for now we're going to step away for another break on FQTV. We'll be back with the second half after this.
Excellence. Is it measured in likes, bottom lines, or the impact we make around us? The things we build, the students we inspire, the care we give.
Baby girl.
At CQ University, we recognise all kinds of excellence. We combine contemporary courses with more choices and real support to empower you to create the success that means more to you. Be with CQU.
How do I finish this time? What? Straight off.
winning.
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
This is a team in full flight, a player at the peak of their powers. Emily Kelly. Extraordinary. This is a team across the face, and there is Claire Polkinghorne to jab it over the line in Newcastle.
Under the lights at Perry Park, it is one apiece in the 2025 NPL Queensland Grand Final. And now let's go down to the sideline where Josh Masamisi has been able to corral Zach Kierpal as the Morton City striker is watching on out with injury. Josh, down to you.
Thanks, James. I'm here with Zach Kierpal, as you mentioned. Zach, firstly, talk us through the injury that you sustained earlier in the year and how the recovery's going.
Yeah, against East in the league, I came back from a quad injury and tore my ACL. So, unfortunately, 9 months to 12 out, but I'm doing really well. I'm 6 weeks post-surgery, just saw the surgeon during the week, so I'm doing really well. A little bit ahead of schedule, but we'll see what happens. Just lucky to have uni and all the coaching staff and the boys to be around to help me through it.
What was your thoughts on that first 45 minutes? Of course, Lions off to a very quick start, and then Joe Scott stealing a goal there to lock scores up at half-time.
I was a bit worried, to be honest. In the first 10 minutes, it was scary. They obviously scored, and they're big game players, those guys. So it was a bit worrisome. It was a bit finicky at the start for us, but then we've got that goal through Joe Scott, so a great moment from an individual, and then from there it looks like the boys have really calmed down and started to play. I don't think they've left their half after about the 26th minute or whenever Joe scored, so it's been awesome to watch, and that's what I love watching the most, is just when the boys start bouncing the ball around like they do, especially like the second half at Brendale the last 2 weeks. I just love it. I love watching the boys.
Just take us behind the scenes, Cam Miller at half-time. What will he be saying to the troops?
Cam, he's a very smart guy, especially with the psychology of the game, so he's always knows exactly what to say to get them pumped up and everything like that. And like I said, the games against Gold Coast Knights and the Easts, we went in at half time. It was 1-1, similar game to this. Like they had time on top, we had time on top, and we came out in the second half there and absolutely destroyed them, to be honest. So hopefully he's doing the same now, but I've got all the trust in the world in Cammy. He's a top coach.
It was only a fortnight ago we were here, Morton City Excelsior Lions Cup of Pro Series final. On that occasion they walked away with the chocolates. What did you learn from that 90 minutes?
Look, it was a bit of an interesting 90 minutes. They didn't have some players, we didn't have some players, so it was a tough one. But I think we've learned, I don't know why they didn't learn 2-3 years earlier, but we don't want to lose the final again. So the boys are very pumped to go out there, very confident compared to last week. We've got it, it's night time, everyone's pumped up. It's not the Pro Series, it's not 11 o'clock, so I think they're going out to win tonight. And
if Morton City Excelsior to go on and win this match, what's the key?
The key, I think, is just going to be winning the big moments in each box. It's a final. It doesn't matter if we have 90% possession, they can go up the other end and score. So I think we need a big moment from one of our boys, and that'll be the key.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Zach. All the best in your recovery, and we'll send it back to you, James.
All right, thank you, Josh, and thank you to Zach as well. Hopefully we'll see him back on the pitch before too long. It is James Coughlin, Adam Patel up in the commentary booth, Josh Musumisi down on the sideline. Adam, it's good to see Zach up and about.
Yeah, fantastic. I have been following his recovery on social media. I think he was telling me he's a little bit ahead of schedule, which is great to see. And yeah, such a loss for Zach to be out on a grand final and also not be able to take part in the Australian Championship. But I'm sure he's going to bounce back.
Without a doubt, he does seem to have the right attitude for that sort of recovery as well. As Zach just greets some of his teammates on the bench and he's now getting ushered away. I suppose I'm part of the broadcast, doesn't always carry as much weight as it once did. But either way, the players are out for the second half. It is Morton City in their black kit, Lions in all white. As Morton City coaching staff is now making a mad dash to try and get over to the substitutes bench before the second half kickoff. So it is Morton City going from left to right. On your screen there is Cam Miller. And they made it in time for the whistle. We are underway. The second half. It is tied at 1 apiece. Who will be crowned NPL Queensland champions? Well, we've got 45, maybe 75 minutes to decide it. Very pleased to have your company on this special Saturday night on FQTV. And it is Morton City on the ball, working down that far side as Murai battles with... Oh, it's kicking off there as Murai is going head-to-head with MacArthur, and the pushing is on, and they are coming in, and, well, they certainly got fired up by the halftime team talks as we are 40 seconds in, and the players need to be pulled away from one another as MacArthur took exception to it. Now the question is what happened. So MacArthur looks like he still had Murai's shirt. So MacArthur had a hold of Murai's shirt. Murai grabbed a hold of his, and it was all just a bit of pushing and shoving. And I think now we are going to have referee Mackenzie James just having a word with the two combatants.
Yeah, maybe he does need to go to his pocket, James, and just lay down a marker there, because only, 30 seconds into this second half.
Well, he does have the hand in the pocket, so there's going to be a yellow card for both players. Liam MacArthur for Lions, and it will be Sata Murai for Morton City. So there you go, 90 seconds into the second half. We've got a pair of yellow cards. Getting the throw in for his team. Right. 4 yellow cards in all competitions for Lions, for Morton City, I beg your pardon, this season. Not sure that's a part of his game that he's all that well known for, is the combative physical side.
I mean, he's given away a bit of height there to MacArthur, to be fair, isn't he? But yeah, he's certainly up for this one.
Yeah, a braver man than me trying to get after Liam MacArthur. I would not do that.
I won't say you give a height advantage to most people, James, but...
Yeah. All right, there's your one.
That's the one I'm allowed.
To be fair, there'll probably be several more in the second half. But anyway, the crowd is building nice, has built nicely, I should say, at Perry Park. I don't think anyone's walking through the gates anymore. But healthy crowd of supporters. Nice buzz around the ground.
Yeah, definitely. I just think it's a great advert for the NPL Queensland, James, as well, isn't it? You know, occasions like this. Obviously, we've only got the one side entering the Australian Championship. And maybe don't get me started on that one, but yeah, just fantastic to showcase this brilliant, this brilliant football league we have over here.
We're all quite proud of our product here in the NPL Queensland, and with the number of players that go on to big money moves elsewhere, we should be pretty pleased with that. It's now Skinner. It's on the ball and now through for Fechner. And off the midsection of Ma. And Takagishi goes straight over the top. Here's Joe Scott trying to get it past Acton, which he did. But it was Oscar Dillon back in cover, denying Morton City what would be the go-ahead goal, and the throw-in came prematurely. But how about the ball over the top, Adam?
Fantastic ball from Takagishi. Joe Scott just doesn't quite get enough power on that to prevent that goal line clearance. Oscar Dillon providing the cover.
Well, he read that very well. He knew exactly what Scott was doing, did Dillon. Oh, it is not a clear, but returned by McAnally. There's Arneson back on the ball. Finding Meineke. So Arneson will scoop that one. Trying to get to Takagishi, but too strong. Once again was Duckworth, I think it was, who tracked that run back. Mid-season recruitment has been so huge for Lions as well, Adam. But you've got Matt Acton, Oscar Dillon, Liam MacArthur. But you've noticed that bench is looking quite strong, especially on both sides, but I suppose particularly for Lions.
I mean, yeah, look at some of the quality that Lions can call upon later. Well, I mean, there's not much better than Andy Pengelly, is there? Of course, record goal scorer in the NPL Queensland. Cam Miller, a bit more of a youthful bench for Morton City Excelsior today. I think Damon Anderson, probably the most experienced player on that bench. But yes, Darren Syme can call upon the likes of Luke Broderick, Andy Pengelly, Trent Millard. Some good options there.
And a free kick now for Morton City, despite Carlos and Duckworth adamant that it wasn't there, as Luke Borean is up and about, although I think based on Borean's experience chatting on the sideline, he might want to watch out after that Kappa Pro Series semi-final against the Raw, where he actually picked up 2 yellow cards in the space of 30 seconds without ever actually entering the pit.
That's some effort, isn't it?
That was one of the most bizarre moments I've ever seen. So I can only smile ruefully as Morton City will take the free kick. It's the left foot of Scott delivering it as Lions in trouble clearing that one away. Is McAnally down towards the byline as sliding challenge goes in. There's a corner for Morton City. Again, the Premier's just starting to turn the screws a little bit as Duckworth just shouting some instructions, making sure everyone knows who has who to try and defend this set piece for Morton City. In-swinging left-footed delivery coming from Joe Scott. Will he be targeting Sayers? Who's a long way out of the box. Instead it's towards the 6-yard box, and again it's Ramazani with the interception. Clears it back to Scott. And the free kick is going the way of Lions. Scott was just a little bit too strong in the challenge, perhaps.
Yeah, there was a few quizzical looks there from the Morton City bench when that decision was given.
That's that little tug back from Scott. I suppose, Adam, if you are looking for some sort of statistical trend, if you are of the Morton City persuasion, as I'm sure some of our viewers are, they have scored late goals in grand finals before, as free kick goes against Declan Smith. Back 2015, that free kick from Geordie Farina, and then the 86-minute equaliser in 2017 for Alex Janowski against Western Pride.
And of course, that was superseded by that Dylan Wenzel Hall free kick, wasn't it, right at the end?
Well, yeah, but they still scored a late goal.
They did, yes.
That's the point I was trying to get at there. Beakhurst lofts it up, and for the Lions, they don't necessarily score late goals in grand finals, but that's usually because they're ahead by the time we hit the final quarter of an hour. Although Sean Carlos did score a critical goal when these two sides met back in the 2018 semi-final. Carlos opened the scoring in the 95th minute. Lions attack fizzles out as Scott will collide with Hart Phillips, and Hart Phillips will protest as it might be time to go down to the sideline. Josh Masamisi. Josh, what have you got for us?
Yeah, the two storylines I think it's important to note as this match continues on in quite a fast and frenetic fashion. For Lions, Darren Syme, it's very public. This will be his last match in charge after what has been a very successful tenure at the Richlands club. So plenty of motivation for Lions to be playing for. As for Morton City Excelsior, yet to climb the mountain in a final. That's the one they want to do. Tonight is their night. Is it the opportunity to overcome that nightmare and finally lift a piece of silverware on final day? They're the two storylines, boys. Plenty of football left to go.
Thank you, Josh. And it is really what we love about games like this, competing narratives. As Fechner has stayed onside, gets a cross in, and Foster heading down quickly to take it off the on-rushing Lions attacker as Maneki clears it away, and McAnally and Takagishi almost took each other out, and that opens up the chance for Skinner. Try and cut inside, sliding effort for Morton City from Arneson, and well, if anyone was going to be doing the sliding challenge, it would be Arneson, but
I think Ramazani's going into the book here, James.
He is going to go into the notebook, because tell you what, there's been excellent game from Ramazani, that challenge aside, but a whole lot of arguments with that one as he wrestled Joe Scott to the ground.
Yeah, a rueful look there from Darren Syme. I think Ramazani knew that he was beaten there and just had to maybe take one for the team.
Yes, and that sort of smart defending, perhaps like we saw in the FQPL Women's Grand Final, where there was that challenge by Kiralee Phillips, thinking she had the defensive cover from Maddie Rotano as well, and taking the yellow card for the team to help them get it to penalties on that occasion. Otherwise, Togai might have been untouched on the Olympic goal. Ramazani slipping away to MacArthur, and Acton, no nonsense clearance. Smith back is picked up by Takagishi. He loses his footing, but the ball trapped between his legs, so it is an indirect free kick going the way of Lions. Well, that expression from Takagishi says it all, as this could be a concern for Morton City, as we have a player down in the centre circle, as that was the infringement that produced the indirect free kick, and I believe that's Dylan Meineke down on the pitch, clutching the back of that right leg. I'm no doctor, but Adam, I'm going to suggest that might have something to do with a hamstring.
Yeah, not looking good there for Dylan Meineke, is it? I know they do have Brody Dimmock, who's a very tall centre-back, who they could deploy. I don't know if they were using Brody as maybe a striker as well, if the game was being stretched towards the end, but he might be needed. He might be needed in the centre of defence. We'll have to wait and see what happens here to Dylan Meineke.
As he goes through his treatment first season at Morton City after joining from the Raw Academy. As Cam Miller talks to Jack McAnally, the former Brisbane City defender. I just wonder who might get the call up. Come on, as well, standing head and shoulders above his teammates is Brody Dimmick, the lengthy number 3, as Meineke comes off under the guidance of the physio, Wusig Yoon.
Yeah, just stretching it out there. I think they're going to see how he goes, James. It's
not a position you really want to take too many risks about in terms of cover, but Chris Marr has dropped back into the centre of defence for the time being, just as he stretches it out.
And we do have Damon Anderson as well, of course. James, a very versatile player, can operate anywhere in defence, so there are some options there for Cam Miller.
Indeed. Well, we'll keep a very close eye on that as he's getting treatment right in front of Josh Masamisi on the sideline, but I can do Josh's job for him and say Meineke is back on the pitch.
I think the old adage is just to run it off, and that appears to be what he's done.
He's going to be put to work here as Skinner gets the cross in. It's over the head and it's cleared away by Murphy. And again, Lions asking for a free kick. Nothing given though. Worked out along this near side. Skinner to Hart Phillips. City clear at Marr. Now Sayers just asking too much of Scott as he might get that run in.
Yeah, just looking for that quick one over the top there with Joe Scott, but just a little bit too much meat on that pass.
James Coughlin and Adam Cattell bringing you all the action on FQTV as this epic grand final day draws to a close, and after the first 3 games went down to the wire, I suppose we shouldn't be too surprised that the 4th one looks like might be a tightly forced contest as Takagishi goes down. Not a whole lot of force there from Fechner in the pushes. Fechner, I think, just tapped him a little bit harder on that occasion.
The first time Takagishi's had a quizzical look at the officials, but I think he was looking for that one there.
Blocked by Hart Phillips. Falls now to Fechner. He's finding support with Beekhurst. Finn Beekhurst. Curling ball into the box. Cleared by McAnally. Now Murai. It's by MacArthur, but I think he was hoping Scott would stay there to play the hold-up man. Cross is blocked behind. Now Lions get a chance for a corner over on that far side, where the hill appears to be at its fullest. And it is draining conditions for all involved as McAnally sucks in the deep breaths. We have a breakthrough coming from this corner. It's Fechner to deliver with the left foot towards the box, and oh, and a header by MacArthur. It was actually last touch off a Morton City player. MacArthur is.
Meineke is not looking good for him.
No, and
Morton City are going to be forced into a change.
Meineke has actually gone down just on the edge of the 6-yard box as overcomes Beekhurst to deliver this corner. But that will have to wait. Adam is going to be a left quad injury, as I see Josh just giving us his diagnosis down on the sideline, Dr. Masamisi. That's what he's down there for, to get that relevant information for us. And well, it's a less than ideal time for Morton City to make this injury-enforced change. Adam, you never really want to make a sub when you're defending a set piece like this, but needs must, and it is Jamie Waddington being made ready as Meineke is forced off 63 minutes into the match.
Yeah, what a moment for Jamie Waddington coming on to defend this corner. Shame for Dylan Meineke, he's had a good game.
making his 8th appearance for Morton City this season after debuting at this ground in the Kappa Pro Series semi-final. In goes the corner, Smith. Rises highest to head it clear.
Yeah, such a shame for Dylan Meinecker, a good young player who's had to come in when Reece Gwynn-Jones had that injury and has acquitted himself ever so well this season, James.
He's taken the advantage afforded to him as Carlos will skew that one wide. Over 200 senior appearances for Lions, Sean Carlos. 3 NPL finals goals, including a brace last week.
Yeah, what a servant he's been to Lions, James. I think he's pretty much been here since a junior, bar maybe a season at Brisbane Strikers, I believe. But yeah, tremendous servant to the club.
Indeed, and he's worked his way through some pretty hefty injury concerns as well, Sean Carlos, and means that he's sort of been in and out of the starting lineup, but such a key figure for Darren Simon. Prior to that, Warren Moon as well. There's the forlorn Maneki just coming back with the watchful eye of the physio. McAnally will win the throw-in. Hart Phillips, he scored the winner between these two sides last year, the only goal in that game.
Yeah, what a goal it was as well. Great team goal, beautifully crafted.
There is the frustrated Meineke. Well, Josh Masamisi has some more information for us down on the sideline. So, Josh, while Morton City go on the attack, what have you got?
Yeah, I just had a brief chat to Dylan, and he mentioned it was both quads that were troubling him. So he has been taken from the field. He's looking very dejected, unfortunately, but he needs to hold his head up high. He's done a mammoth job for this Morton City Excelsior side and really steered him in good stead as we count down the second half of this NPL Queensland Grand Final.
27 games for Cam Miller's side this year as Morton City will launch in their corner. It's towards the 6-yard box, and Ramazani heads it away, and Sayers with a very Kuhl-esque air swing. Bonus points if you get that reference, Adam. Here it goes for
You'll have to enlighten me, James.
Best air swing in Australian football history. Harry Kuhl, 2005 World Cup qualifier. It teed up Bresciano's equalizer against Uruguay. As a cross goes in, and Acton calm there to bring that one under control. So now any air swing I see is compared to that Harry Kuhl one from 2005. I think Harry Kuhl may say it was one of the best moments of his career. At least for the national team. I think he's had some pretty good moments for club.
Yeah, they were the glory days for you, James, weren't they? The mid-noughties.
Although, to be fair, looking at some of the products coming through the national team now, both men and women, we could be seeing Australian football just going through a little bit of a resurgence as well. Maybe not quite the 06 golden generation of the Socceroos, but some young prospects. Lofted free kick deep, looking for MacArthur, and Smith will chest that one down and just get a foot to it to launch it away. And Dylan on the ball, but he's played it straight to Takagishi, and he'll take the first time shot, and a diving effort by Acton, who was scrambling to get back in position, and almost a moment of magic from Kenshin Takagishi.
Well, Kenshin Takagishi, we know about his quality, spent last season in J2. And yeah, just spotting Matt Acton, just scrambling back. And if that's just got a bit more pace in it, James, I think that's in the back of the net.
But from that range, you have to be so precise if you are the attacking player going for goal. There are also times where you're just tempted to try and leather it. Speaking of leathering it, I wonder what sort of delivery we may see from this corner. Options for Morton City. It's a deep delivery, but it's not punched cleanly by Acton. And Lions have to scramble it away only to the top of the 18-yard box though, and Mirai play the pass as it's picked off by Hart Phillips and returned back into the Morton City half. This game remains finely poised on a knife's edge. We've been on level terms for over 40 minutes now as the action rolls on here at Perry Park. As Nazani gets in the way and goes back to the safety of Matt Acton, who, tell you what, you speak about mid-season signings, Acton has been a huge boost to a Lions goalkeeper room that was already pretty strong with Cardiff Pond and Luke Borean.
Some fantastic options there, those two names you just mentioned, James. Certainly well stocked in the goalkeeping ranks at Lions.
Yeah, but it's also good to see Acton sticking around southeast Queensland as moved from the Brisbane Roar A-League side after taking over the starting job for last season. Smith straight through for Takagishi. Watched closely by Duckworth, and Takagishi just trying to do too much with that pass, and nice touch off Sayers. And Acton, such a reliable presence at the back. This time with Brisbane Roar and Melbourne Victory. Oh, the yellow card is going to Harry Arneson. He had gone almost 70 minutes without getting a booking now. It's his 8th in 12 games since signing to Morton City.
He does like a yellow card, Harry. And he's got another one for the collection there. Just a bit late.
Well, look, he's a combative defensive midfielder, so I suppose that is part and parcel of the job. So it's now 6 of 10 NPL games for Morton City. Let's pick up a yellow card in as it's a touch for Beakhurst, and it's now back. Well-worked set piece from Lions. And Duckworth couldn't quite get the delivery in because Takagishi was in the way.
Yeah, maybe one they've worked on the training ground there. And Joe Duckworth not able to beat the first man there.
It's a clever build-up nonetheless as Beakhurst with the in-swinging delivery once again. It's first. It was Waddington who first to get there, and now Morton City trying to launch the counter as Scott was steaming forward. No such luck finding him off the pass. Now Ma, as he just put himself between Sean Carlos and the ball, and just veteran experience from Chris Ma to win that free kick, and hopefully no coming together there from two guys who know each other pretty well.
Yeah, I think Sean Carlos only had eyes for Chris Ma then. I think as soon as Ma got away from Carlos, I knew there was going to be a tackle incoming. He didn't disappoint.
With those two personality types, I think they're not one to shy away from contact. Duckworth battling for the ball, a bit of pinball, sees it land at the feet of Skinner, looking to cut back. This is his range. Jack Skinner with the strike, and it's in. Lions take the lead with 20 minutes to go, and it's Jack Skinner, the electric attacker, buries it in the bottom corner.
Well, Jack Skinner, we know the trickery he possesses. What a goal there from Jack Skinner. Cuts inside. Actually, I think this was on the right boot this time. Just arrows that into the bottom corner. I think Foster might have got a hand on it, but just too much pace on the shot. And advantage Lions.
It was just that extra touch, finding the angle, and I think that one, a little bit of smoke coming off it, he hit it so hard.
Immediately, Morton City making a double change.
So it's Joe Scott and Lockie Sayers coming off. Damon Anderson and Kent Vega coming on. Kent Vega, well, in terms of goal scoring, that's a pretty solid player to bring on from the bench.
Yeah, I think he was playing in FQPL 2 for Morton City's other side earlier in the season and was brought across in the transfer window. I think he's got 4 first-team goals to his name.
And an early introduction here for Anderson, if he can keep it in, get the cross into the box, and Dylan calm away with the header. Lions, they've got that precious goal. Can they hold on? 17 minutes of normal time remaining. Now can they find a third, possibly, as Hoare? No way through. Declan Smith on that occasion. Now going back the other way, this game is getting stretched, and Vega doesn't quite have the acceleration to get on the end of that one.
Yeah, just really starting to open up now, James. 17 minutes or so for Morton City to try and find an equaliser.
With the way this game has gone, they will have their chances. That much I can say for certain. It's just a case of can they bury it. I think back 2023, they came so close to finding that equaliser. Kes Walters with the bicycle kick in the 93rd minute that just went wide.
Yeah, it was. I think they had a strong penalty claim that game as well, James, didn't they?
They did too, yes. Last year, getting close on a couple of occasions, but no such luck as one of the Morton City players has gone down. McAnally is back on his feet now. Smith will drill that one across to the far side. Now Vega tries to find a way around his defender, and the decision is corner, much to the disagreement of the Lions players. Dylan Meineke, he had 63 excellent minutes battling through quad injuries, but now he can only watch on as his side tries to find a way back into this match.
Yeah, you can understand how dejected he must feel at the moment after being forced off with injury, but he's certainly got a bright future ahead of him.
It certainly does. Mirai has made a run just across the top of the 18-yard box. Nobody has gone with him. Will they look to try and play him in, perhaps? Or just loft it towards the back post. Players are on the ground in the goal mouth. It's quite cleared as Smith let it pinball around. Has played straight to Takagishi, who will lash a shot straight at Acton and saved by the Lions shot stopper.
Yeah, he would have seen that late there. I think Acton, it did come through a sea of bodies.
Tight angle as well as Morton City. The urgency just going up a little bit now from the Premiers. Vega battling, but out-muscled in midfield. Here comes Lions now through Hoare, and he will play it forward, hoping for a teammate. I beg your pardon, that was Hart Phillips. This is where composure matters so much for both sides. Arneson going forward, finding McAnally. Smith over the top, and the flag stay down for Vega. Did initially, and then off that header, it is offside against the Morton City substitute. Kent Vega, 11 appearances, 4 goals. Scoring twice against Sunshine Coast Wanderers and St George Willawong.
Darren Syme just looking at his bench here, James. I think we are going to see some changes from Lions shortly. You can see Emmett Shaw, I think, was in discussion with the coaching staff. Might be seeing him.
And he was a player, Emmett Shaw, who had a very big role in that Kappa Pro Series final as well, coming on and having to deputise after the injury to Tommy Jarrett. Just going through some final instructions there as Luke Broderick gets some tactical,
well,
tactical information. Player who knows Perry Park very well, Luke Broderick.
Yeah, certainly does. Probably just going to try and take advantage of Morton City having to maybe push numbers up and exploit some gaps in that defence.
Will that change come now before this throw-in, or will we see it lead the next break in play? Well, next break in play as the ball is thrown back in. Another way by Murphy. Ramazani. But he's unable to bring that under control. Out it goes for the throw-in, and we will see Lions go to the bench for the first time tonight. And it is Alex Fechner. Well, there will be no second brace in a grand final for him as he gets an early mark after 78.5 minutes.
I think just being told to hurry up there by the referee.
Or at the very least, if you take your time, just know that it's going to be a very long stoppage time to be added on. He did miss last season's finals run, Alex Fechner, with that leg injury, so I'm sure he's enjoyed being back out there at the crunch time of the season. City wasting no time with that throw-in. As Fechner gets sorts of plaudits from the coaching staff. Job well done. It is 11 minutes to play here in the 2025 NPL Queensland Men's Grand Final. Every game has gone down to the wire. 2 decided by a single goal so far. 1 decided on penalties. Will we have extra time for the second time today? Well, for that to happen, Morton City need a goal, and for that to happen, they need the ball back. Waddington battling with Broderick, and the assistant referee on the far side just clarifying that decision was going Lions' way, as I think Broderick was about to blow a gasket after coming on. This earlier on, Adam, but the Premier's record in grand finals prior to tonight, 5-0. Lions coming in as the second seed in the finals.
I guess records are there to be broken, James, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the second seed. 2-6 in grand finals, so 2 wins, 6 losses. From the numbers I've got, the only team that finished second during the regular season to win were Gold Coast Knights in 2019 and 2022. The Lions' grand final wins have come as either the Premier or 4th place. And City's lone grand final win did come as Premier as well. Late drama in that game, so strap in. We've got a frenetic conclusion to season 2025 coming your way. Lions really do look like they're finishing this one much stronger, Adam.
Yeah, they absolutely do, don't they? They've maybe got a bit more energy than Morton City at the moment. They've just got to call on all their energy levels now, Morton City, but they've given away a free kick.
And that is where you do need the likes of Joe Duckworth, Hashan Ramazani. I mean, you run through this team list, it's all guys who have been there and done it before.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they know what's needed to get over the line, James. And they've shown it again so far today.
But Morton City, all they need is one chance to make it count, but they haven't quite adjusted to those changes as yet, as Cam Miller is now up on his feet. No, Josh mentioned earlier that he was a pretty calm figure in the first half. Now he is up trying to get his team back in the right spot as that ball is played for McAnally as they try and bend it in behind the Lions defence. It's picked up by Takagishi as he's got Anderson in support on the right. Anderson with the cross as Acton keeps that one in.
Yeah, it's just not happening for Morton City at the moment, James. Matt Acton happy to prevent that corner. Just eat up a few more seconds as we tick down towards that 90 minutes.
Acton was Uri lunged in front of that one to try and get the block. Some more changes afoot on the Lions bench as see a couple of Morton City players getting stripped and ready. So gear up, we've got the changes coming. Arneson on the ball, now back to Waddington. Let's look at this Morton City side as well. How young they are as well.
Yeah, well, Emmett Shaw, I think 16 or 17 years old. I believe I think he might still be at high school.
It's decent signs that Lions Academy does produce so many good players who make their way through to the Lions first team.
Just being made to wait here.
Extended passage of play without a break as it's clipped over the top, headed by Dillon onto Duckworth. McAnally just shielding that one to get it back to his captain, Declan Smith. Can he possibly pop up with a critical goal? Now it's at the feet of Murphy, clipped to the back post. Anderson's there, but so more importantly for Lions is Ramazani. And another critical interception by the Lions number 4. It does come though at the cost of a corner.
Yeah, good work. I think it was by Murphy there on the far side to get that crossover, and you probably want Declan Smith there at that back post, don't you? Attacking that one.
Nerves aplenty on the Lions bench, so those changes will be made to wait even longer. With the set piece set to come in, it's not quite all hands on deck in attack for Morton City, although Nathan Foster is on halfway. Everyone else is forward for the Premiers. Driven ball in by Marr, headed by Duckworth. It's found its way to Anderson as Hoare is putting the pressure on. Anderson escapes that. It's to Takagishi. Playmaker, can he find the right delivery as it's across the byline, picked up by Acton.
Just happy to collapse on that one.
It's been a stressful game for everyone, even the goalkeepers. Waddington nods it back to Foster.
These substitutes, James, have been waiting a good 3-4 minutes now, haven't they? Be an injury time soon.
It's just waiting and waiting and waiting. Sure, but I think I heard one of them say the waiting game sucks. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos. Playing behind Hart Phillips, but he's up to the challenge. Jackson Hart Phillips. Smith over to Arneson. Exercise in patience. That one has gone over the sideline, and now we will have those changes. So it is Hoare coming off, or Emmett Shaw. And for Morton City, it will be Chris Marr coming off after a stellar shift in midfield. He is replaced by Darcy Satharasinga.
What a chance for Darcy Satharasinga, James. Academy graduate, just 17 years old, and he's got, what, 3 minutes plus stoppages to try and become a hero.
Well, no time like the present, and we have had our fair share of late goals in the NPL Grand Finals. We had one a couple of hours ago now. Smith is forward. He goes down under the challenge, and I asked a question of Mr. James, but entirely sure there was enough force in that contact.
No, well, Cam Miller and his coaching staff were up in unison there, weren't they? With their arms outstretched, but I didn't really see much in it there from me from this angle.
Been a harsh penalty at best to be given as the ball goes over the sideline.
Well, of course, Declan Smith now playing as that makeshift forward, although, of course, he
Going
has
back to
got
his
pedigree there as a striker.
Going back to his younger days. Can he find another goal at Perry Park? It's down the right end of the pitch for Lions, though, as they try to see this one out. 2-1 lead over Morton City. Smith can't bring that one under control. And here go Lions. Can they possibly seal it? Out it goes. Skinner on the wing as put those fast feet to work. There's a pair of black jerseys in front of him and just beyond the forehead.
I did wonder for a second if Jack Skinner might make a byline for the corner flag there, James.
Ramazani there, first to the loose ball once again. He's been huge in defence for Lions. Missed a few games this year, Hashan Ramazani, but boy, is he such a critical figure. There's Smith. Not many better target men going around. As McAnally will drive that one into the box, and it's just over the head of Smith, and Acton gratefully grasps that as we have 60 seconds of normal time remaining.
They've just got to throw everything at it, Morton City. Just hoping something will drop for them in the box, or Declan Smith can get on the end of one of these crosses.
Mirai coming back from an offside position, and we'll just burn a few more seconds off the clock for Lions as the ball bounces into the stands. Assistant was quick to flag that one. The question I have for you, Adam, is how much stoppage time will we have to play? It doesn't feel like there's been too many breaks outside of the injury to Meineke.
We're about to find out. I mean, I would go, 3 or 4 minutes, James? But we had obviously a few substitutions, but not too much in the way of stoppages.
It's been a quick moving game and just filled with tension and moments for both sides. 5 minutes for Morton City to find an equaliser, or for Lions to see out as they chase a 5th grand final win since 2018. An 8th trophy for Darren Syme in his 191st game in charge of the first team, in his 126th win. I think that might actually tick over 200 games coached if you count Australia Cup national stage.
Yeah, Morton City just knocking that out of play there, not the time for a loose pass.
And one more change potentially coming for Lions. As I see Andy Pengelly is stripped on the sideline, but for now it is being held up in the corner by Broderick. 4 minutes of stoppage time to go as a goal kick sent to Foster. He'll take it quickly. Now Arneson just has to launch it forward, trying to find Smith, but it's away from the tall timber. Second ball is won by Morton City. McAnally. Balls into the box all season. That time, play the diagonal out to the far side. Murphy, watched closely by Beakhurst as it's a goal kick for Lions.
Yeah, I think Murphy just running that out of play, much to Cam Miller's frustration, as Lions just need up a few more seconds making this substitution.
This is their specialty, Lions. These sorts of nights, these grand final occasions. How many times have they been in a final and just been able to do absolutely what was necessary? That is what they've done tonight.
And there's the potential match winner coming off, Jack Skinner. What a performance from him.
Always nice coming off saying, might have scored the winning goal in a grand final. Now here's Pengelly, his first touch for the evening as he chases his another grand final win. That one's just drilled forward. Mirai, can he run it down? It's too much power on that one from Takagishi.
That just sums it up for Morton City in this second half, James. Just haven't quite been able to deliver that final pass, that final ball.
And MacArthur is encouraged to get back onto his feet. He's gotten through a mountain of work as well. And the crowd starting to ask for that full-time whistle. They've still got 2 minutes or so to see off. Now or never for Morton City to find a way back into it. Lions so close to another piece of silverware. Seconds of added time still to go. Vega that one under control, gets back to Waddington, and Lions, just as they did so well in the first half, pressing in numbers. Pengelly, the substitute striker, closing down. And a deflected ball as it finds its way to Vega, is no way through. And that is just thumped a long way away. Anywhere will do, as McAnally will get the ball back, as Waddington just trying to find a little bit of space to play it forward. Anderson plays it out wide for Satharasinga. Curling ball in towards the back post, looking for Smith. He got his head to it. He's Shaw put the pressure on. Murphy with the first-time crossball spin now for Smith to nod it on. Duckworth just sends it high into the night sky. Smith, can he keep it in? Smith from the angle. Decision is corner. Foster steaming forward into the box. And now it is last chance saloon, surely, for the Premiers. Morton City in their third straight grand final, looking for the equalizer to send us to extra time. Is this the moment for Morton City? Oh, it's headed away. Pengelly again with the defensive duty. And they are inevitable. Lions win the grand final for the 5th time and close out the Darren Syme era with yet another trophy. Elation for Lions with Jack Skinner's 72nd minute winner, the decisive goal. Adam Cattell, what a game. Inches in it. And it is Lions emerging victorious.
Lions FC, the grand final specialists. And it was just a moment of quality there, proving the difference. That Jack Skinner winner. Hard on Morton City, James. 3rd final in a row to make it that far. Obviously a fantastic achievement to make a final. That's no consolation for them at the moment, but certainly a wonderful way for Darren Syme to sign off such a brilliant chapter at Lions.
It certainly isn't. The Lions staff on the field jubilant as they celebrate another piece of silverware, going back to Richlands in a trophy cabinet that I'm pretty sure might be struggling under the weight of what the men's and women's side have won in their time in NPL Queensland.
Yeah, they might be needing to order a new one, I feel.
Let's get some reinforcement in, as it's heartbreak for Morton City. You have to feel a bit of sympathy for them. They did get their trophy this year with the premiership, but it'll be hollow comfort for the time being, and now they have to pick themselves up with the Australian Championship kicking off in just a few weeks' time. But in the end, it was Lions doing what they do best. And here is how we got to that Lions victory as we go through the first and second half highlights, as we'll start with the goal, starting with 5 minutes into the game. Mitch Hoare Getting it to Skinner. He was everywhere tonight, Jack Skinner.
Yeah, I think he was my pick of the players, Jack Skinner, putting the assist on there for Joe Duckworth to fire in the opener.
And it was a well-worked cutback as well, and Morton City shell-shocked at the start as Duckworth buried that chance with his first goal of the season. Good time.
Not a bad time to get your first goal, James. Took it with aplomb.
But Morton City, to their credit, came back with a flourish, and it was Joe Scott off that left foot, putting it in the far corner beyond the outstretched arms of Matt Acton. And Scott, he was huge for them tonight.
Yeah, he was impressive, Joe Scott. Fantastic goal. Starting to get him on his left foot. He's got a wonderful left peg. Showed it there.
Certainly did. And then chances aplenty. Scott getting close to a second. Just couldn't quite get the power on that one.
Yeah, Oscar Dillon providing the cover, but yeah, just needed a bit more pace on it.
Another chance that was so close for Lions. That ball fizzed towards the near post. Just a little bit frenetic, and came time to get some composure. It was Takagishi. Close.
Yeah, fantastic idea there from Takagishi. Just didn't have the pace to trouble Acton.
It was Jack Skinner getting the ball after a bit of pinball, and as he has done so many times, dribbling onto his right foot and rifling it in with a touch off the hand of Nathan Foster, who didn't really do too much wrong on that occasion. To be fair, it was just an excellent strike from Skinner, and the Lions held on from there as they want to do. And it is another win for Richlands Base Club. Here is the match stats. Lions 8 shots to 5, but 4 on target for Morton City. It was just a game of millimetres. It really was a hard-fought final, and I think that's going to hurt a little bit more if you are Morton City.
Yeah, fine margins, James, absolutely. Lions getting the job done.
All right, well, Josh Musumisi has waded into the celebrations and has been able to corral the Lions captain, Joe Duckworth. Josh, down to you.
Thank you, James. I'm with Joe Duckworth. Joe, they say the hardest part about winning a championship is defending it. How hard was that?
Yeah, man. Oh, obviously, they're a great side. They won the league for a reason. Far out, yeah. You don't really get too many moments in those kind of grand finals. I feel like we took ours. Oscar made a massive goal line clearance. Matty made a great save. But then it's just sort of like, had that feeling in the second half. Whoever scored next was going to like go a long way to winning it, and we got there, and then it was just sort of like locking up shop. And yeah, just so stoked, so relieved that we could do it.
You two have been two titans of the National Premier League's Queensland for so long now, and to face off in another grand final in consecutive years. From the sideline, that was fast, frenetic, energetic, and after Jack Skinner scored, it seemed that the level of the match just went to another stanza. How was it from your perspective out there?
Yeah, I think you said it. Like, we're 1 and 2, probably been two of the better sides over the last 2-3 years. So that's what you get. And like in the big games, when there's literally no next week, you just throw punch after punch, man. And luckily we landed one. You still got to, I'm delighted, but you still got to pay dues. They got the one we all wanted. They won the league, but and they'll have Queensland's full support in the B League. You know, we'll be cheering them on, but so stoked that we could get a couple of cups to finish the season. A few of the boys, the retiring boys and stuff, and lads moving on next year, just like absolutely buzzing we could send them off like that, because yeah, they deserve it, man. They've been unbelievable for us.
Very well said. And just finally, Darren Simon, it's no secret, this was his last match in charge. How much motivation was it for the squad to send him out a winner?
Absolutely, man. We've said it time and time, like filling Warren Moon's shoes is not easy, but the man's done it with absolute class. I think he's won a trophy every year. Just goes to a testament to what he does, his program and what he's running, and yeah, no doubt. We all knew it was his last game, and it's a collective effort, but that's who he is. He didn't make it about him, he made it about us, and yeah, we'll make it about him after and make sure he gets the celebration he deserves.
Congratulations, enjoy, mate.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, that is a jubilant Lions captain, Joe Duckworth there, and I'm not sure actually what his mix was between jubilation and exhaustion. It was just a ridiculous game, and I think he's just ready for a bit of a lie down. He's getting some plaudits there as you see the Morton City team huddle as we now prepare for the presentations, as the microphones are coming over, and just some words of encouragement for Lions. And there is Warren Moon actually passing on his congratulations. He's now the Director of Football, I believe, at Lions. So, Adam, it's more celebrations, and all I will say, good luck to Rob Scanlon's credit card back at the Lion tonight.
Yeah, it's surely going to be an epic night at Lions, celebrating yet another grand final victory. Just seeing the Morton City side there. Of course, they do have that Australian Championship coming up in a few weeks. I'm sure they will bounce back from this.
They will. I mean, it is a resilient side. Keeping in mind as well, like, not only have they won the premiership this year, but they've bounced back from grand final defeats each of the last 2 years as well. So let's go down to our ground announcer, Brad Wood, for the presentations.
NPL Men's Grand Final. And joining me for this is Football Queensland board member and former Socceroo, Matt Mackay, FIFA official Adam Kersey, and Joey Lee from the A-Leagues, also to present the match officials with their medals. It's been an incredible day and night of football here at Perry Park, Queensland's spiritual home of football, and we've been able to enjoy 4 massive NPL and FQPL1 grand finals. And on behalf of Football Queensland, we'd like to thank all of you for your support, not only of this event, but of football in our state in 2025. We'd also like to acknowledge the players, coaches, volunteers, and support staff from our NPL men clubs who made this season possible. Thank you very much for your ongoing commitment to our game. Now, these games wouldn't be happening tonight without our match officials, and we would like to invite our 4 match officials from the NPL Men's Grand Final forward to collect their medals. Please, a warm round of applause for Mackenzie Janes, Bailey Jacobson, Abdullah Al-Khamizi, and Tom Fell. Thank you very much to our match officials in tonight's NPL Men's Grand Final for 2025. And thank you very much as well to our runners-up this evening, Morton City Excelsior. They secured the NPL Premiership in fine fashion to book their place here tonight. And we also wish them all the very best as Queensland's qualifiers for the inaugural Australian Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, with a warm round of applause, please welcome Morton City Excelsior forward to collect their runners-up medals. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us once again in congratulating this year's NPL Men's runners-up, Morton City Excelsior, and wishing them all the very best. We know you will do Queensland proud in the upcoming Australian Championship season. And now we turn our attention to tonight's grand final winners who capped off a wonderful season with an outstanding performance here tonight. After lifting the Kappa Pro Series trophy right here at Perry Park just 2 weeks ago, and now securing a second straight NPL Grand Final Championship, which makes it their 5th in 8 years. A truly fitting reward for outgoing coach Darren Syme, who has delivered numerous trophies to the club through his tenure to cement his status as one of the NPL's most decorated coaches. Please give it up for for your NPL Men's 2025 champions, Lions FC. We'd like to invite them forward to collect their winners' medals. We'll now invite Joe Duckworth, the captain of Lions FC, to say a few words. A round of applause, please.
Obviously, massive thank you to Football Queensland for putting a night on like tonight. It's obviously, as amazing as Suncorp is, it's nice to be back here where you feel the atmosphere especially. Big shout out to Morton City. Congratulations again on winning the league. You'll have the entire Queensland community supporting you in the B League, no doubt. So can we just give them a quick round of applause, please? Another massive thank you to everyone wearing orange and blue up there tonight in the stands. Thank you. Big effort. You saw us home. Well done. And then a massive well done to our boys as well. Fitting way to send off our coach and a few of our retiring players as well. So massive thank you. Well done, everyone. And yeah, we'll see you next year.
Thank you very much to captain and goal scorer tonight for Lions FC, number 10, Joe Duckworth. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we get ready to celebrate the 2025 champions of NPL Men's Queensland. Football Queensland CEO Robert Cavalucci has the trophy and the champagne's coming in as well. Ladies and gentlemen, with a massive round of applause, please congratulate your 2025 NPL Men's Queensland champions, Lions FC!
And that is how season 2025 for NPL Queensland will wrap up. Jubilation for Lions, another grand final win. And that is where we are going to leave you tonight on FQTV. On behalf of the entire commentary team, Adam Cattell, Amy Webster, Alan Kroll, Josh Masanisi, Josh Stonefinger, Fraser Hills, Demi Robbins, Graydon Hoffman, and myself, James Coughlin. Thank you very much for your company tonight. And most importantly, thank you to the viewers who have kept us company on these live streams all season. It really brings us joy. And we look forward now to season 2026. And we will leave you with some highlights from tonight's NPL Men's Grand Final. This has been a production of Double Take Sports for Football Queensland. Thank you for your company today. Good night.